Good evening, everybody. It's Charlie, and welcome back to another live stream on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. It has been a while since I've gone live on the channel, and I thought tonight was the right time to come back and bring back a feature that I used to do not long ago called The Last Say, where we discuss the game from the day before. And obviously, tonight we're here to discuss the late 2-1 victory over Preston North End at Elland Road yesterday afternoon. Just before we get into the stream in more detail, guys, make sure you are smashing a like on it. It really does help get the video out there to more people. Please subscribe if you are brand new. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers. That's my next goal that I'd like to hit. So if you could help me out with that, that would be amazing. Hit the notification bell, and of course, get all of your thoughts and opinions and everything in the comment section down below. I can see there's a few of you already in the building, so good evening to you all. I can see Jay, as always, is here as he said he would. Evening, pal. Yeah, I'm good, mate. Hope you're well as well. Good to have you back. Yeah, it is good to be back doing lives. I think I checked earlier, it's been about 3 months since I last went live on the channel. I've had things going on, sometimes life gets in the way, doesn't it? But I am trying to get more consistent on the channel now, regular content, and hopefully a few live streams a week now, which is very good. Let's just get into a few of the comments. Obviously, Jay's saying make sure you like, sub, and comment. Yeah, exactly. Make sure you all listen to Jay. Phil's in the building as well. How we doing, pal? How everyone feel? Much better about us overtaking Ipswich and Southampton. Yeah, and that's sounds like a good place to start, doesn't it, Philip? We'll be discussing that in just a second. So, guys, I've literally just made a note of things that I'd like to mention because I do forget. We'll just get into Julie's comment and then we'll get straight into it. 3 more priceless points yesterday. Hoping Leicester beat Ipswich tonight. And what do you think to the Willie Gnonto situation? I was really shocked when I heard. Hope you're okay, Charlie, and everyone else. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Julie. Hope you are as well. And yeah, just briefly on the Willie Gnonto situation. Obviously, I've seen it earlier that apparently Leeds are trying to tie him down to a new deal. Obviously, his current deal expires in 2027, and they're wanting to give him a new and improved one. It's still 3 years away, so it is a little bit interesting as to why they would try and tie him down now. Is it because they expect high bids in the summer? That obviously, if Gnonto does agree a new deal, it indicates to me that he'll definitely obviously be staying until at least the summer. But it is weird timing, isn't it? I thought West Ham were interested in him, but maybe not. Maybe those sources were incorrect. But if we manage to keep him, then great. But I don't expect him to be here past the summer. I do think clubs will come in. But if he's tied down to a new deal, then hopefully that means that we can get top dollar for him. And like Phil's saying, just about the point situation, 4 points between us now, we can do this. Yeah. And as I said, Phil, that's a good place for us to start. So obviously, this win against Preston yesterday, I feel like I'm saying it every week now, but it was very much needed. We had to win that game yesterday by all means necessary. As Phil said, it's 4 points between us and like Southampton and Ipswich, who are level at the minute. Hopefully, I never thought I'd say this, but hopefully Leicester can do us a favour tonight. I think we've all kind of come to the realisation that Leicester are going to win the league. I'm not bothered about being champions or having a title again. We've been there and done that under Bielsa. What I'm concerned about is having to avoid the playoffs if possible. And Ipswich have definitely started to falter. I do think that will continue for them this evening as well. I do think Leicester will beat them tonight, hopefully, and I do think they will. But like you say, if we'd have lost that game yesterday or even drawn, I think automatics would have pretty much been done and dusted. But now, guys, I was even thinking about this earlier. If we beat Norwich on Wednesday and then we beat Bristol City on the Friday night next week, if Ipswich get beat tonight as well, and we beat Norwich and Bristol City, we will only be a point behind Ipswich and Southampton going into that weekend next weekend. And that that just makes it a little bit more tasty, doesn't it? And, you know, if all the negative side of me is thinking, you know, every time Leeds United get an opportunity to close that gap even more, we usually bottle it. You know, the facts are there from this season. You know, the Stoke game, the Rotherham game away. Then there's even the two games over Christmas. You know, if we'd have beaten Preston at Deepdale, and if we'd have beaten West Brom, we would be, I think we'd be in the top two now, right? Yeah, yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, we would be in the top two now, potentially. So, you know, it's all if buts and maybes. I get that, but it just shows you, like Philip said, how tight that gap is, and it is definitely doable. It isn't over yet, obviously. Come back and ask me about that on Thursday night when I do another live edition of The Last Say when we're speaking about the Norwich game. But yeah, well, I think it is definitely doable, guys, and I'm sure that you can all agree. Just before I get into a few of your comments, there's 12 of you in the building, which is really good to see, given that it's the first stream in a very long time. Make sure you are smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are brand new, and get all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Let's get more people in the comments. What's Jay saying? Jay's saying it was a massive win on Sunday. That was the sort of game that we had to win. Preston had no interest in playing football, so we did well to keep our heads and grind out the result. Yeah, we will be coming on to Preston's SHIT housery in just a little bit, Jay. Don't you worry. I think we'll get top two, but even if we don't, I think we'll walk the playoffs. God, you're more optimistic than me, Jay. You're really more optimistic than me. I think. All right, let's just go on a little mini tangent. I think at the minute, as I'm sat here now, I think it's going to go down to the final game between us and Southampton at Elland Road. And whoever wins that will get automatic promotion. And I feel like if we lose that game, then we will be going into the playoffs on the back of a very heartbreaking defeat. And I'm not 100% sure that we overcome the playoffs if that is the scenario. But I don't want to think about the playoffs just yet until it actually is confirmed. You know, there's plenty of games left. I think there's like 18 games left. So, you know, there's plenty more twists and turns where that came from. Phil saying, and yeah, definitely strange how he's considering getting a new contract. Oh, right, we're on about Nonto again. Getting a new contract, but if he wants to stay now, then that's a good. Yeah, it is a good thing. You know, if he is committed for now, then by all means keep him around. But I think from a business standpoint, it's good to get him tied down so that if a big team does come in, then we can obviously demand a good fee. You are getting me excited when you were saying exactly, but that's facts though, Philip. Like that's if we beat Norwich and Bristol and Ipswich lose tonight, then other teams will be going into that weekend with Leeds United only a point behind them. Oh, wait, no, sorry, wait. If we beat those two. Yeah, sorry. If we beat those two and Ipswich lose tonight, then we'll be in the top two that weekend. So I think we'd be 2 points clear. So psychologically, for Ipswich and Southampton, that's a little bit like, oh, God, Leeds are in top two. And hopefully, you know, helps them falter because Southampton can't keep on this winning streak for much longer. They just can't. It's getting a bit ridiculous now. It's borderline a joke. It's since they beat us, they've not lost, and that was on the 30th of September, I believe. That's some going. That you have to give credit where it's due. It is some going, but it won't last. We beat Norwich last time we played them, didn't we? So let's do the double on them exactly. And we came from 2-0 down in that game at their own backyard and came back and beat them. So I have no doubt that we can get the win at Elland Road on a Wednesday night under the lights. We beat Southampton and get our own back. Yeah, hopefully. Preston definitely dirtiest team in the Championship and ref was a disgrace. Yeah, absolutely. We'll be coming on to that shortly. Don't you worry. We'll all have a little rant about the ref in due course. We will be second if we beat those two. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have realised that now, mate. Yeah, so if we beat Norwich on Wednesday and Bristol next Friday, then we'll be second going into those games, providing Leicester beat Ipswich tonight. So, it's all there to be played for, guys. It is still definitely up for grabs. Southampton are probably the most likely to do it at the minute, given their form. But again, they won't win every single game from now till the end of the season. It's impossible. They just won't. And Ipswich, I think, have been on a little bit of a downward spiral. Yes, they beat Sunderland last week, but I mean, other than that, they haven't been great recently, have they? Michael's saying, when Pascal is fit, who would you leave out of the team, Ampadu or Gruev? I'm going to give a rogue answer here and just say I'd just leave it as it is and maybe not put Pascal back in. That might be a bit of a rogue shout. And don't get me wrong, it'd be nice to have a left-footed centre-back on the left side of that centre-back pairing. But, why change a winning team at the minute? Like, why change it? It is obviously working. We beat Peterborough with Ampadu at centre-back. Yes, they're a League One team, but, a decent League One team. Got through that okay. Beat Cardiff last week comfortably away from home with Ampadu at centre-back. And then we've beaten Preston yesterday. Maybe not too comfortably, but we still got through that. And I thought Ampadu and Joe Rodon was an amazing partnership yesterday and last week. So that might be a bit of a rogue shout, but I would maybe just keep it the same. But if I had a gun to my head and you're asking me who would I rather drop, Gruev, maybe. Yeah, probably Gruev, just because I know Gruev's been good recently, but it's been a few games, whereas Ampadu has been consistently good over the course of the season. That'd be the only reason why. If I was going off the last few games, I'd probably drop Ampadu, in all fairness, because Gruev's been amazing in midfield. But I think he may just keep Pascal out. And maybe, at least now, he doesn't have to rush him back, does he? Which is why I think, he said that he was out yesterday. He'll be out on Wednesday, and he'll be out for the cup game on Saturday against Plymouth as well. So, yeah. Yeah, ref was an absolute mug. The ref was horrendous, but let's be honest, all of the refs in this league are tripe. Yeah, but which I agree with, Jay, but that one yesterday, you've got to admit, mate, that was, I mean, the guy was an absolute, I can't say the word that I want to say, but he was one of them. Imagine the worst insult you could give, and that's what he is. Pascal gives Leeds aerial strength in defence and attack, which Ampadu and Rodon don't have. Yeah, fair enough, which is why you may put Pascal back in, but at least he doesn't have to rush him back, like I say. And Mike's in the building. How we doing, mate? All good? Gruev needs to play. Yeah, he does at the minute. I think he's really proving why Daniel Farke really wanted to have him in. I think the first few times that he was in the team, he wasn't great. His physicality looked a bit off, but I think now he's really starting to prove his worth. Right, another thing that I wanted to speak on is a little Welshman by the name of Daniel James. And just I'll say it, just the shock of from me that of how well he's doing this season. Now, I'm not being negative, but at the start of the season, if you would have asked me for my preferred 11, Dan James wouldn't have been in it. It'd have been an impact sub at the very best. But even in pre-season, Farke played Dan James a lot in pre-season. And you could just tell that he liked him from the get-go. And I think we're really starting to see why now. And I feel like a lot of us, me included, probably thought, well, we used to keep thinking Dan James was crap because of how he used to play under Bielsa, where Bielsa used to play him as a centre forward. Now, I love Marcelo Bielsa for what he did for this football club, and I always will. But playing Dan James as a number 9 was not his best move. But now he's actually playing in his preferred position in a system that suits him under a manager knows how to play into his strengths. We're really stepping now. But at this level, we all remember how good he was for Swansea when he was in the Championship with them. It was really good. So again, we're starting to see what he's really made of. 10 goals and 5 assists for Dan James now this season. He's scoring headers, he's scoring goals outside the box, tap-ins, he's just everywhere. But the biggest thing that I'm most impressed with him about is his defensive duties. The fact that he knows Archie Gray's a 17-year-old still learning his trade in a position that's not his preferred position at right back. He's getting back, he's helping Archie Gray, he's getting involved in the tackles, but then as soon as there's a counter-attack, he uses his pace, he's up there straight away, providing crosses, scoring goals, and just being a little terrier up top, and that's what we need. And there's nobody beating Dan James in a foot race any day of the week in this league. So, I kind of did write him off a little bit at the start of the season, but now I would have him in over Nonto, and I never thought I'd say that. And another player as well on a slightly negative note, not negative note, but just someone who I thought had quite a poor game by his own standards yesterday, and I usually love this guy, is Glenn Kamara. I thought Kamara had an off day yesterday, big time. There were instances where he was just giving the ball away too cheaply, in my opinion, and where he was, just not urgent enough going forward. Usually he likes to drive with the ball and play it into Firpo or Somerville. But it was just a little bit slow, a little bit lackluster, a bit lethargic. And I hope that improves against Norwich, because Norwich are a better team than Preston. It'll be a tough game on Wednesday night. We will need everyone to be bang on it. Let's just get into some comments before we move on. Mike saying 3 at the back, Ampadu Road on Pascal, Graham Firpo wing back, Screw of Kamara in midsum. Yeah, potentially that is a good idea. I'm not sure Farker will go with that, but yeah, I can understand you thinking behind that. Charlie, will you be eventually doing more watch-alongs on your podcast going forward? Good question. If you want to see some watch-alongs, then I'm happy to try and get that sorted for you. That's no problem. Obviously, I am a season ticket holder, so I'll be at every home game. But every away game, then yeah. If again, guys, I will do what you ask of me. If you want to see some watch-alongs, then I can definitely sort that out for you. That is not a problem. DJ's been amazing this season. Let's hope he can carry it on into the Prem. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure if he could do it in the Prem, but hopefully we get the opportunity to see. And Jay's saying that he wrote James off. I never trusted his final ball or decision making, but he's proven me wrong and has to be one of the first names on the team sheet. Yeah, exactly. And I think those are the things, Jay, that Daniel Farker's worked with Dan James on. His final ball, his decision making, a bit of football IQ as well. You can tell that he's really, really improved his game. Dan James has been treated poorly by Leeds. He was played out of position, which didn't suit him, and Marsh offloaded him to Fulham on loan. Yeah, exactly. He hasn't had the easiest ride. But the fact that he's still committed to the cause and he still gets the club is real testament to his character. And Jason, what do you think of the news about us potentially going in for Godfrey? I would love to see that. I think it would be a great addition. Yeah, I saw that just before coming live, Jay. So obviously I haven't had a chance to react to it. But Ben Godfrey, yeah, decent player. Was very good in the Championship with Norwich under Daniel Farker. So he obviously knows him well. And has been a decent player for Everton. So I can see why they try to offload him, though he isn't really playing much for them at the minute, is he? So I would take Ben Godfrey all day long. He's from Leeds as well, I believe. So it'd be a nice move for him. So yeah, I would be all over that. Michael saying, Charlie, I hope you'll be a regular on Just Joe podcast going forward with the other brilliant Leeds podcasters. Yeah, thanks for that, Michael. Yeah, thanks for that. Obviously, I was on the Final Word last Sunday. Last Sunday? Yeah, it was last Sunday. I think I was with Joe, Jay from the Ought to Know Better podcast. There was Ollie Ward. There was Lockie, Max from Leeds lately. There's a few of us. It was good, and obviously I think he's doing it tonight, maybe after he's done his watch along for the Ipswich game. But obviously I work early every morning through the week, so I can't really do the ones through the week with him. But obviously I have said that any time that he would like me on a weekend, I'm more than happy to join him. I really enjoyed that. DJ's proved us all wrong this season, so why not next season in the Prem? I just think, again, I know it was out of position, but when we've seen him in the Prem, he hasn't exactly had the greatest of impacts. But again, it's under different systems, under a different coach. So hopefully, if we went up this season, Daniel Farke could really get the best out of him in the Premier League. Ben used to be a Leeds player, yeah. I think he's like friends with people that were in the year above me at school. I think so. I think that's how I know that he's from Leeds. Ben Godfrey has never played for Leeds. No, he hasn't played for Leeds, but he's from Leeds. Like is in a sense of that he was brought up in Leeds, I believe. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, let's move on to a few of you have already wrote about this, but let's just get it out of the way. Let's just speak about the Preston. I'll just say it: the Preston shithousery, and the fact that they're probably the dirtiest team I've ever seen play at Elland Road. And the ref which, I mean, like Jay said earlier, the standard of officiating in this league is shocking anyway. It is. But that yesterday was just nothing short of abysmal. The guy did not have a Scooby-Doo what he was doing. Dishing out yellow cards just randomly, like when they were pushing and shoving in the middle, and he randomly just booked Bamford. What for? What did he book Bamford for? He booked Jorginho Rutter for diving when, if you watch it back, the Preston player has actually stood on his foot, studs up. So that should have been a booking the other way around. Or maybe even a red card. Who knows? And then, there was the odd thing that he gave, which was right. And it tells you something, though, that the guy gave us a penalty to win the game. And we're still saying how crap he was. I've not seen a ref perform that badly in a very long time down at Elland Road. And we get some bad refs. We really do get some bad refs. But that guy didn't have a clue what he was doing. He lost control of the game from minute one, in my opinion. Preston did not come to Elland Road yesterday to play football. They came to Elland Road to frustrate us, frustrate the fans, to con the ref, to time waste. They scored that goal in the, first or second minute. Fair enough, fair play to them. They went in front early. Did they do anything after that? I think they had another shot from Liam Miller, which Melier saved. But other than that, did they do anything in the game? No. They were just looking to break all our players' legs. And, their Twitter account, Preston's Twitter account, tweeting out, a hard-fought performance at Elland Road. And I'm like, how can you be proud of that? Like, if that was Leeds and we turned up to an away ground, went in front early, but then ended up losing and did nothing in the game, just were kicking lumps out of the other team, I won't be happy with watching that. I won't be happy with watching that. So if they're happy with that, then they are some club, some team they are. But yeah, the guy just had no clue, did that ref. And obviously the Preston manager coming out moaning and, crying down the microphone on that interview saying, he needs to be careful what he says, and that basically saying that it wasn't a penalty because it came off the player's body and onto his arm, but his arm was out there. His arm was out, his arm's away from his body, unnatural position. So it's a definite penalty. It's a blatant penalty all day long. And obviously their keeper handballed it outside the box as well. There was numerous things that were missed, and numerous things that he gave which were just stupid. But that makes it all the more sweeter that we managed to get the 3 points over the line. Like saying, Godfrey's not rated by a large section of the Everton support base. Some Everton content creators have called him out on some of his defensive mistakes. Yeah, but that could just be, again, It's all system based. It's all confidence based. You never know if he did come in at Leeds, he may do well. You don't know. Preston are a team full of clowns. And the ref was the same. Yeah, absolutely. Jason, I don't get the point of the linesmen in this league. They never get a decision, even if it's right in front of them. They wait for the ref to make the call before they just agree with it, and you bang on there. There was even instances where there was balls. The balls were going out for throw-ins, and it'd take him a few seconds. You'd see the linesman going like that way with his flag, and then that way, and the boat. All of them, they just didn't have a Scooby Doo what was going on. Because the way Preston played against Leeds on Boxing Day and won, they tried the same tactics at Elland Road. Yeah, exactly. They were the same at Deepdale. They were kicking lumps out of us that game as well, and no really happened. And then Melier rightfully got sent off in the letter of the law. You know, he did touch the guy's head like that. But then there's Rutter who gets shoved yesterday in the middle of them all when they're pushing and shoving, but no gets done about that, does it? That's what I mean. The inconsistency in this league is absolutely abysmal with the officiating. Godfrey at championship level would be fine and has worked. Yeah, exactly. I think at this level he would be a decent addition. Maybe not in the Premier League, but I think at this level he would be. So let's just get into the Norwich game then briefly before we finish the stream. Before we get into this point, guys, make sure you're smashing a like on the video and subscribing if you're brand new. There's been some good engagement on tonight's stream, so I really do appreciate you all taking up time of your evening to come and listen to me waffle. So yeah, I really do appreciate it. But yeah, predicted 11 for Norwich. Now, I'll be honest, I think he keeps most of it the same. But there is a position in which I thought we'd have a little discussion on, guys, and that is the number 9 position. Now, Bamford has done well since he's come back. Obviously, 3 goals in 4 games. Wasn't involved yesterday as much as I would have liked, but he still didn't do anything wrong. It just wasn't his sort of game where he could have a huge impact, I don't think. And obviously, Piroe came on, and I thought Piroe had a good game. Aside from the penalty, I thought his link-up play was good. He had some decent touches on the half-turn, and just in general, just had a good cameo appearance. Obviously, the penalty helps his cause, but do you maybe rest Patrick Bamford midweek and play Yoel Piroe from the start and just see if he actually plays Piroe at 9 and leave Rutter at number 10, if that actually works. If it doesn't, you bring him off and you put Bamford on and you maybe keep it like that for a little bit. But I think it'd be interesting to actually play Piroe at 9, but actually keep him at number 9 rather than allowing him and Rutter to both come deep and have like no focal point. I think it'd be good to maybe have him as a focal point because him and Bamford both aren't quick players, so I don't think we'd be losing anything in terms of pace. But I think Piroe's the better finisher of the two. So it is an interesting point, guys. Hit me up in the comments. Would you start Piroe or would you start Bamford and give you reasons why? But yeah, I think he'll probably keep it the same and start Bamford. So that's my predicted 11 for the Norwich game. Obviously, I will be doing a match preview for the Norwich game tomorrow on the channel, which will be a pre-record. So make sure that you tune in for that when it's out. Norwich won't be a pushover, but Elland Road under the lights make it very winnable. Exactly. Home form's been good, hasn't it? We're still unbeaten at home. Only team in the division to be unbeaten at home. So yeah, I have no doubts we can get the win, but it will be a tough one, I must admit. Like I say, more of this live content going forward, Charlie. Great way to engage with us, folks. Been excellent tonight. Thanks for that, mate. Really do appreciate that sort of comment. I'm happy to provide content that you are enjoying, guys. So really do appreciate that. And let's get an early score prediction in then, guys, for the Norwich game. Obviously, as I won't be live tomorrow, unfortunately. But let's get some early score predictions in for the Norwich game, guys. I'm going to go with 2-1 again. I think it'll be a tight game. I think Norwich will obviously come to actually play football for a change, which I say will be nice. It won't be nice, but it'll be a good game. It'll be a tough game, but I do think we'll have enough to get through it. But at least we know that if we go a goal or 2 down, that we can come back because we've done it to them already this season. But yeah, like I said, guys, I will be going into more detail on tomorrow's video with what I think will happen in the game between Leeds and Norwich on Wednesday evening. So we will leave it there. I'll just get into a few of your last comments, actually. Bamford has a few loose touches and his passing was off, but I would be tempted to keep it the same for Norwich. Yeah, fair enough. I think he'll probably keep it the same. And like you say, Stephen, maybe put Piroe in for the cup game. Joe Pro is the best finisher in our team, so I'd go with him all the time. Fair enough. 3-1 to Leeds, says Philip. Fair enough. And Jay's going with a 2-0. I think we'll concede because Norwich are a decent side. But I do think we'll have enough to get through this game, guys. But as I said, more on that in tomorrow's video. So make sure that you all tune into that. So just before we leave it there, guys, really appreciate everybody taking the time out of their evening to come and listen to tonight's stream. Really hope that you've all enjoyed it as much as I have. It's been good to engage with you all once again. And trust me, there will be more live streams on the channel going forward now. And like Michael asked for earlier, if you want to see some watch-alongs for some away games this season, then hit me up in the comments and tell me if you would like that, because that would be good to engage with you all as well. And yeah, just before I go, guys, make sure that you are smashing a like on the video if you haven't already on the way out. Please subscribe if you are brand new to the channel as well. Hit the notification bell. And of course, get all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below if you are watching after the live stream ends. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you in a bit. Cheers.